I'm in the creative and in the wellness world. I married them both together and they both fit so beautifully. You can't go into the arts with an end result, and you can't go into wellness with an end result, because guess what? There's no end door. Cancer was a beautiful friend and a teacher to me. I feel much more self-love, acceptance, and it goes beyond this physical thing.
So, hello everyone. Nice to meet you again to a new edition of Beyond the Cancer Diagnosis interview series. Today is my pleasure to welcome Sandy Duarte, the actress. Sandy, nice to have you with us. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation.
Thank you for having me, Adrian. It's a real pleasure, honestly.
Yeah, I'm great at and very happy that you accept to have these discussions, this conversation. But to begin our interview, I would like you to briefly introduce yourself for our audience. As far as I know, you are an artist, you are in wellness, in well-being, in creative arts, so you have, let's say, multidisciplinary approach of life. So please...
It's the way life has been for me. I've kind of followed my heart and my bliss. Many moons ago, I was in the fashion industry, and then I really longed for even more creative expressions. Then I got into acting, and I did a lot of film, TV, theater. Got a beautiful award in Canada for my theater work, and it allowed me to come to the US. So I'm in Los Angeles right now. And it's been really lovely. And then I've been constantly wanting to grow as a human being. And I love yoga, and I love sound bathing, and I love human connection. And so I welcomed yoga into my life. And so I'm in the creative and in the wellness world. I married them both together, and they both fit so beautifully, because the core and the foundation of the arts and wellness is one thing. It's a love for people. You want to tell a story for the love. You want to help people through their body and minds through the love. So it was a really natural fusion and marriage of my world. So it's been really nice to wear various hats that fill my soul. And I want to keep growing. And recently I've added author to my title because, as you know, I wrote a book during chemotherapy. And I can go on, but that's me in a nutshell right now. And a cancer survivor. So happy to just be here and keep evolving and living.
Yeah. And now, unfortunately, from creative arts, you dive into healing arts. Which one is tougher? Because one is with competition, the other one is within yourself.
Yes. You know what's funny is I personally have never seen the creative arts as competitive. When I was in Canada, people would ask me, why are you going to go to LA? It's so competitive. There's so many people. And I don't think of life as competitive. I thought I want to be in a big pool that I can swim in and enjoy all the talents and grow, rather than be in a tight pond and there is nowhere to grow. There's no opportunity. So for me, it's been a real joy in both. They both have their challenges. I love that question. It's a hard question. I feel like, my gosh, which one is tougher? They both have their own elements of difficulty, and the difficulty is just enjoying the process of what they are. You can't go into the arts with an end result, and you can't go into wellness with an end result, because guess what? There's no end door. We're constantly growing as artists, and we're constantly evolving as human beings. And, as you know, my gosh, way more, knowledge in the psychotherapy area and all that stuff. You know that our life is constantly, we're working on our body, our minds. We're never complete. Oh, I'm good. I'm done. We have to do the work constantly. So for me, they're both very equal. The challenge is to enjoy the process, because there is no end in sight. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. What you mentioned about creative, of course, there is no end answer of being creative, because if would have been, that means that our creation has to stop. So, which is not the case. So we are living a creative life. Like I like to say it, a visionary life. I'm also a visionary person, and I always said that when I lose everything, I hope I will not lose my vision to create, to inspire, and also to have to let a legacy behind for children, for the community, also for the patients. So I guess these are the foundations of both you and me. But to go further, you mentioned about a book that you wrote during your chemotherapy. And you decided with this to share your story, which is a huge step further because not many patients have this inside power to share the story, especially in those moments of treatment when the healing it's hard to deal with, and the life doesn't seem fair, and so on. And your book, it's called Cancer Ramblings. What are the main ideas that you believe every reader should remember after pass through your book, through your thoughts?
Yeah.
In fact,
Adrian, it's so funny. I don't think I'm ever going to stop getting emotional talking about it. I need just a moment. I'm going to start with this, and I'll answer your question. I never intended to write. I thought there's so many cancer books out there. Who needs my story? I never intended to write. One day I was going for a walk with my chemo, around the hospital, and I was inspired by titles giving me the permission to write. Cancer Ramblings is very informal. I'm not a university degree writer. I don't have those certifications. I'm just a human that experienced cancer. I'm a creative person, but I'm not, So Cancer Ramblings allowed for me to free myself from the judgment of what writing is. And so when that happened, I said, oh gosh, okay, I guess I'm going to write. It was divine inspiration. It was a necessity for me. And so I started writing because it was therapy for me. And it gave me a purpose through my pain. And the whole thing was, how do I channel going from why? Why me? Why did cancer happen? Why? You can ask why forever. You're never going to get the answer. Most likely you're never going to. 99% of the time, you're not going to know. So I decided, you know what? Why not me? Who cares why I got this? Why not? I can do anything if you set your mind to it. And so as I started to write the book, it was a deep cathartic therapy. It's like me writing into the ether. I'm not religious, but I'm a spiritual person. I thank God. I thank the universe. I thank the trees. I thank the birds. So as I was writing, I felt like it was beyond me and it was going out someplace. It was helping me to digest the absurdity, the insanity of getting cancer when you're so healthy. Why did this happen? So my takeaway as I was writing this was always, how can I help people find the light through the dark that is cancer? Cancer is more to me, Adrian, a mental game than physical. The chemo is taxing. Believe me, I had some rough times. I had 6 rounds, 5 days, 5 nights of chemotherapy, 6 times. Very strong dose, very hard. But for me, and it's like you said, you said something in the beginning that they can take everything away, but please don't take away, your creativity, that thing. My thing that I said through cancer was, you can do whatever you want to my body, but please may I keep my mind sharp. May I keep my heart strong. That to me is the kernel, the essential, as you're going through all the beautiful methods of science and how you marry science with faith, with strength, with tenacity. And so I'm hoping that whoever's going through cancer, the family, the friends, somebody you're supporting someone, that this book will help you see that you can find purpose through your pain, that even though it's dark right now and scary, there's a little bit of light right down there. Hold on to it. You will survive. I did stage 4 cancer, 10 by 15, huge mass, squashed my left lung. So I had to resuscitate my lung. Doctors were saying, it's okay to live with one lung. I said, nope. And I'll tell you another story about that next. But my takeaway is, I hope people see my book as like the candle in the cave. as the expression goes. Then I know my purpose has been served. And you know what? Then cancer becomes a purpose for me rather than why the heck did this happen, which can be absurd and strange. So instead of a waste of time, it became a glorious time because I was able to write and help people.
And you find, as it is said, that in every pain, it is an opportunity. If we can see it. And as a philosopher, I don't name it now because I don't want to mistake, said that it is our pain that reveals also our vision of the world, so our creative part, because if everything around us is beautiful, we are not forced to force our limits, so we need sometimes strong moments in our life, tough moments, to overcome, to find our interior power to see different the life and the world. So of course, the first question of every oncological patient is why me? And this is inevitable. This is the questions that I always have or try to answer each time I meet a new patient. But also your book, it is very important because it is a book from someone who experienced this. And we need more and more patient experience, more than rather than scientific articles. We know scientificals, we know we have statistics, but we don't have real stories. And usually I saw that patients learn better from the experience of others than from books or even sometimes from therapy. And how you define this interior strength to go from why me to why not? Because they are too extreme, from why me to why not. It's so categoric. The questions, they are simple but very powerful. So it has to be something inside you that it was a trigger to move forward.
Yeah. Good question. Your questions are incredible. Sorry, Adrian, what you were going to say?
Yeah, so could you name this trigger that made you ask yourself why not?
It was just a radical acceptance. It was shocking. See, I still get emotional, but in a good way. Cancer was a beautiful friend and a teacher to me. I have the answer. I just have to get the emotion out of the way. When my oncologist came in and said you had cancer, immediately my first line was, "What the F?" A swear word, right? And my jaw dropped. I was shocked. And I just didn't accept it. And I don't know where that comes from. We're all different. And that's why the book is here to serve as support, because we're not all the same. So imagine people that don't have perhaps the way I am. You can go into a very dark pit. And so I'm here to really encourage that. Allow yourself to ask yourself why. I allowed myself the shock for about 24 hours, Adrian. Where I was like, why? And then my mom, how, why? And then my friends, you're the healthiest of our bunch. I work out and, people notice, and even the nurses, why? You do yoga, how? Why? And I thought, enough asking me why. I don't even care what why is. I don't know where this came from, Adrian, but I immediately went, why not? Who cares? I can do this. I don't care if it's cancer. I don't care if it's a cavity. I don't care what it is, but I'm going to fix it and get to the end.
I understand. And
Tails in between. Then all of a sudden your mind is, why not? Let's get to the end, which is the healing. And so I don't know if that answers your question, but it was a deep thing in me that I knew I couldn't live in pity. I had to be strong for myself and to realize that I can give myself 24 hours, but after that, I'm the captain of my ship. I have amazing doctors. I'm here in Los Angeles. I was at All of You Medical, all fine UCLA minds, great doctors. So they can help me, but they can only help me so far if I'm like this. Why? I had to be strong and the champion of my body and my mind. So immediately I just went into, why not? Let's do this. What do we have to do? When my team came in and I had 5 or 6 doctors around me, I said to them like this. I said, with all due respect, I'm around the finest minds. I don't have your brain. I don't have doctorates. I am not that intelligence. I'm a different type of person. I said, so please, whatever you do, I don't need to know the process B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. All I know is I see the end and I'm walking out of here. You are in charge of the details. I'll take care of the rest, which is the macro vision that I'm walking out this door. And I write about it in my book. It's about having a flashcard. So any time that the person or myself, I would get stuck in the fear, immediately I would have an image, Adrian, of me walking out the door of the hospital and another flashcard, me running on the beach healthy, my hair blowing in the wind. What is the vision for your life? So that was what propelled me to just go, why not? And see the end. Because if you get stuck in why, you're not going to help the healing. You're going to be stuck in the illness. Forget the illness. Great, I have cancer. Now let's move on and let's fix this. It's radical acceptance. It's very essential. Can I tell you one more story that's very real?
Please.
I'm in one of my rounds of chemo. It's my last night, and I have amazing nurses there, amazing team. I'm going to say it, all of you. They make me cry. They help me so good. And it's late night, it's midnight, and my nurse goes, I'm so sorry, Sandy, because, we're tired, sleepy. We'll have to wheel in a patient. She's in a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. I said, do you mind sharing your room? I said, of course not. He wheels in a patient, young, 40 years old. And we look like college roommates when we're in the room together. It's almost like life's parallel. She had cancer, ovarian, had hysterectomy, that whole thing done to her. And she is in severe pain from surgery, plus cancer, chemotherapy, all the stuff. They wheel her in. She comes to see me, to see who this roommate is. I say, hello. I try to go back to sleep. And she is in severe pain, okay, where you want to leave the room because you hear it. It's going into 1 a.m. Everybody leaves, and it's just me and her name is Sahar, and she's a good friend of mine. I talked to her yesterday. we ended up being like sisters. Oh my God, she starts to say, can we talk? I said, yes, we can talk. And we have the curtain between us. She goes, why? Why did this happen to me? Why? And talking like this. And the light bulb went off on my head. I go, oh, this is where the person is in why. And I said to her, listen, you are going through a lot of pain. Doesn't mean you ignore it. But just for tonight, wonder why. But tomorrow, wake up and think why no more. You have to move on now. Trust me, it worked for me. And I gave her my talk. Fast forward, she has overcome. Fast forward, my nurse, who is incredible, I won't name names, came up to me a few weeks later when I'm back in treatment. And he says, Sandy, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah. He goes, what did you talk to the patient about? Like, what were you guys talking about? Because the next day when they came to see her, she was a different person. That made me smile from my heart. I helped somebody. And I said, you know what? We just talked. And I told her that she had to now accept and move on and stop asking why. And that's a real story. So allow yourself, whoever is listening to this story, and your patients, Adrian, even more than me, your doctor, allow yourself 24 hours, why, cry. And then after, snap out of it and say, now I am the captain. I'm going through the storm. And why not?
This is also the recommendation that 24 hours are critical. Mm-hmm. In 24 hours, we should have, let's say, the mental acceptance of the disease, at least theoretically, hypothetically, 24 hours, it's the time in which everything is happened. We see our life behind, we see our future, but we are still in the present, like in a dream, like in a mirage, to put it this way. And I want to ask you now that we all know that cancer creates a new reality for every oncological patients. Do you feel it? It's like a new reality. Do you see yourself now, let's say, based on other values than before, or you are still creative again, but more productive in a way? Or do you see acting different now, like from outside the box during this period, and now going back to the movies, going back to the theater, and maybe you are the same, but the reality it's maybe not that you left behind. How is for you this new, not new life, but new reality?
Such a good question. My gosh. Everything is deeper with more purpose, more clarity. I have a even more deeper value for the most precious currency, which is my time. I have no fear to say no. And I know clearly what I want to do even more boldly. And I'm passionate even more. I've always been passionate, but I have more clarity in what my purpose is, and that we have to live life with some sort of service forward. And so it's really propelled me into the wellness, into being able to say no, that project, I don't like it. It's not for me. Or even the writing. It's just opened me up to a whole other deeper part of my humanity. And it's also deepened my faith in whatever it is that's out there, esoterically, spiritually speaking. I feel much more self-love, acceptance, and it goes beyond this physical thing. I don't know how, yeah, I don't know how to say it except that it has deepened the sense of value in a lot of things.
Uh,
Purpose.
yeah, it is called rumination. You eliminate from your life this part which is rumination, which means that we are thinking all the time of the disease, of what happens to us, of our bad luck, etc. So you put it away, and you conserve your energy, because in this new reality, as you said, time is very precious. This is some, as you mentioned, very nice, the new currency, and also the energy that you have to use it wisely. Because as you mentioned, yeah, this project is not for me. Okay, I don't find myself in this, I don't know, scene or movie, etc. So that means that you conserve very well your energy and trying to be productive in what you really want,
Yes.
in what you really identify with. So which is the most important thing in this new reality. And in this also the new reality, and during your experience, how important was social support, family support, or maybe fan support from your friends or for your colleagues? How important you feel it?
Very. You know, it's funny. I'm much more open now because when you come out of cancer, then you're able to share the ugly pictures or this vulnerable things. But when you're during, everyone's different because I have friends I've gone through cancer and they showed everything from day one. For me, I became very private, and it's a very vulnerable place to be unkempt and so-called ugly. And all those things that we label the opposite side of being strong and together, and and so I kept my circle very tight, and only until now am I sharing with the world. But I found that the support of people, of friends, of family, of phone calls meant a great deal. It's important to allow yourself to be vulnerable in the face of others because it takes a lot of strength to be strong, and it can be taxing. It's so to honestly, Adrian, to have a friend visit even for an hour to sit and to give you a hug, to play cards or to bring you a chocolate or, it's a game changer because you're seeing what life is outside the hospital walls, what health and vitality is when you don't have it in yourself. And so it's important to stay connected. Vulnerability is key. And a lot of times, I can't speak for everybody, I'm not an expert, but I know for me, I wanted to just not tell a lot of people. But in sharing with the small circle that I had, it really helped my journey. And now, even more so, it's been a joy to share with everybody. And some people are like, why didn't you tell me? I wish you would have told me. I would have been there for you. Lots of people. And I said, unfortunately, it was the kind of journey I needed to focus. It would have been overwhelming if I told all the people. It becomes a job. So I had to really just be private and work with me in the universe, work with me in my health, my spirituality. And then I had a small group of friends and family, and it really helped. So if you're going through this and you think I'm going to do it alone, don't. It helps to have a few people in your life. It's a game changer, and you need faith. What is your ritual? What do you believe in? Poetry, music, God, universe.
As you mentioned, you need a purpose, your life purpose, because we can't live without a purpose in our life, and we can't face alone, the darkest times of our lives. At least we need at least one person beside us. So yes, that's very, very interesting and deeply. And since we are finishing in a moment our interview, I would like to end it in, like, let's say, positive way, to share with us what are the future plans for Sandy Duarte, because you mentioned an award for acting, which is a step forward for everyone involved. So, what are the future plans for you?
That's a great question. The award was many years ago, and it allowed me to come here to LA, which I love. It's a great place for wellness and creativity. And so I want to keep writing. I want my wish and my hope is that this book, Cancer Ramblings, really lands in the hands of many. I would love to share my experience more, my story more. I have another book in the works that is already started, and I want to keep helping people through the arts and through wellness. I do retreats for women and for men. I teach yoga, I do sound bathing, and I want to keep carrying on and bringing these modalities into the hospitals, and somehow keep writing and just finding my love in things, which is people sharing the experience and keep going. I don't have a crystal ball, but I know that my crystal ball says, Sandy, just trust the future, do what you love, and keep going.
And live each day as a permanent present, as I like to name it. Yeah, because that the present is a thin line between the past and the future, but you feel the present more deeply than I do, other of us. So it would be better to be all of us in a permanent present.
Yes,
especially when we are feeling good. Sandy, thank you very much for joining me today in our interview series, and we are waiting for your new book to come out.
What? Adrian, it's funny you say that. You remind me, today is the official book release, world book release. So it's available on Amazon internationally, on Barnes and Noble, but it's available in a lot of places, and you can check it out just by Cancer Rambling, Sandy Duarte. It's today's the world release, and it's on Kindle as well. People can read it on Kindle, and I just hope that it lands in the hearts of many. And don't be shy. You can connect with me on my website, cancerramblings.com. I'm here to serve and to help through this message. And I want to thank you, Adrian. You are such a refreshing light in melding your wisdom, your intelligence, and what you do with reach out to patients. And it's a joy. Thank you for being a part of my journey. I'll never
Thank
forget
you
it.
for accepting my invitation and to have these wonderful conversations about your experience.
Thank you.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to OncoDaily on YouTube. Hit the bell icon to stay updated.